I'm officially in my homesteading era, trad wife, whatever you want to call it. I don't actually know if they're the same thing, but I have just been loving making things from scratch because there's just so much stuff that you don't want in our food these days. Also, food is so expensive right now, so anything that I can make at home and cut costs and I know that's gonna be better for me, I'm gonna do that. Mostly just things that I'm actually craving, and then some things that I've been making all the time that you have been asking for the recipe. Like my bone broth that I cannot stop talking about on Instagram. Everyone's like, I need your recipe. How do you make this? And in the spirit of fall, September, this is my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month, and it's just the weather, the vibes, the colors, the fashion, the food. It's chef's kiss. I'm here for it. So we are gonna make a pumpkin spice latte from scratch because I don't drink coffee, so I can't just go to a Starbucks drive-thru and pick one up. And also, I don't even think there's real pumpkin in it. We definitely need some pumpkin. I'm not making that from scratch. Okay, just buy pumpkin puree. Okay, if you want, go the extra mile. But like, I'm making the drink from scratch. Does that count? For the sweetener, I'm thinking maple syrup. Got that. Okay, we need cinnamon. No. Pumpkin spice. I got the pumpkin spice. Finally taking her out. Coffee. I don't drink coffee, so I got my herbal stuff. It tastes really, really good if you're trying to cut down on caffeine. Some almond milk. I think I am gonna use cinnamon just for like an extra punch because that's like the main flavor you want. I mean, besides pumpkin, of course. Let's boil some water and make a pumpkin spice latte. First thing I'm gonna do is brew my coffee. Just gonna like make it extra strong. There's so many different kinds of brands. I feel like you're starting to see it become more popular, that people are realizing that caffeine makes us all crazy and anxious. At least it does for me. The trick is you gotta make it extra strong. Like, tell me that doesn't look like coffee. Oh, there's definitely a trend online right now of just, a lot of people making food from scratch. And I honestly love it. I think it is so inspiring. It makes me want to try new things that I've never made before. And also it's like educational. I love knowing, oh, that's how you make that from scratch. I had no idea. Add my pumpkin and like heat it up. I think that's good. I'll put my measurements down below so you guys can check that out. I was gonna do almond milk, but I have some canned coconut milk in the fridge that I want to use up. I think what it is that we are just a busy society, so people see it and they're like, how do I have time for that? It's unrealistic and they feel like it's not what they're actually doing. But the reality is that not everybody has access to all these ingredients, and they may not even have the resources or money to like buy it as well. Like, it is so expensive to buy everything already made for you. A dash of vanilla. Someone's getting drunk for breakfast. One thing I love about knowing how to make things from scratch is that if you are, say, planning out dinner last minute and you realize you ran out of something, for instance, we make tacos a lot, and I usually buy like the pre-seasoned ones. I usually try to get like the healthier ones from the health food store, but that grocery store is not close to me, and sometimes I forget and we run out. But I actually know how to make my own taco seasoning from scratch, which I love being able to do. If I have all those spices in my cabinet, which I got a lot of spices, I'm able to whip things up like that in a pinch. And I like homemade taco seasoning used to be a normal thing, and now everything is just pre-made, convenience in packages, which is great for busy days. But there's something so special about just making it yourself from scratch and knowing exactly what's in it. Ooh, does it smell like fall? Because it does in here. Okay, we're gonna bring this to the stove. And don't get me wrong, like some things I'm like, okay, a little overboard, like I wouldn't be able to do it, but I think it's inspiring. I think it's cool. Like, make your own homemade cereal, do it. Like, I kind of want to try it now, I made homemade marshmallows for the first time the other day. Like, there are so many things that we've kind of lost touch with when it comes to food and how things are prepared and created from scratch. Like, I don't even know where half my food is grown from, what it looks like when it's growing from the tree. And I think that being able to make things from scratch just reconnects us with our food. And it's something so fun to be able to teach our kids. Like, we love going to the farm all the time, picking what's in season, and like, we're learning together. Sage is learning how asparagus grows. We're learning how to pick raspberries and things that we eat every single week, but we're just kind of out of touch with in our regular life. Okay, I think I'm gonna use the frother to froth it. We'll see how this works. Okay, not like that. too much coffee. But the pumpkin milky base, real good. Wow. Yeah, just less coffee. I overdid it. I put like 3 tablespoons. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna make is bone broth. So I just get bones from a local farm. You can even get them at regular grocery stores. They'll usually have them in the freezer section. I just look for grass-fed, organic, the best quality bones I can get. So whatever you can find. This one's just like a big solid block. So I'm gonna run it under some water and see if I can break some of it up. Now this is an optional step, but I like to roast my bones. I've also heard of people boiling them. It just makes the flavor so much better. I think there's other reasons. Oh my God, this is like really stuck. My finger. It's hard being a homesteader. Oh, okay, all right. I have my oven preheating to 375 and I'm gonna roast these for about half an hour. I'm gonna have all my directions on how I make my bone broth down below because I've kind of done a couple of different variations of it. And it's honestly the easiest method. So if you're like, I don't have time for that, yes you do, because it's really, really easy. Okay, into the oven. Got it. Speaking of homesteading, ever since I had my kids, I have become such a homebody. I spend so much time at home, and because of that, it was really important for me to make sure that the air that's in our house is clean. And so I wanted to make sure we had a really, really good air purifier, and I've talked about them before because we have one actually upstairs as well, but Jasper is the only one I trust with our air. This is our air purifier. We have it on our main living space, actually by the door, which is great for when we're barbecuing, but I love it because it tells you in real time what the air quality is. This number here measures out particles that are small enough to enter the bloodstream and lungs. I leave it on the smart mode so it just does its own thing if it detects anything in the air. It also has a night mode if you have one in the bedroom so it doesn't have any light disturbing your sleep. This guy is so quiet that you can hear me talking and I'm literally sitting right next to it, which is great for filming days like today. Not only is the design really sleek and will look great in any room in your house, but it also has a 360 filter so it will work in corners and really any spot in your space. The most important part is that it filters 99.9% of things like mold, dust, dander, allergens in the air. Even when I'm cooking, the other day I like smoked out the house because I spilled something at the bottom of the oven and our whole house, like the bottom floor, filled up with smoke within seconds, and this guy detected it right away. It was on full speed fan mode. It's kind of crazy that in a matter of minutes our Jasper upstairs detected that there was smoke in the air and was already on like the highest fan mode. Also, make sure you're signed up to their email list because they send out such informative emails. Like, I actually love opening them and reading them. The last one I saw, I believe, was the mold experiment that they did, and basically they filled up a room with millions of air spores of mold. They placed a Jasper within the room, and then within 60 minutes 87% of the mold was removed. The reality is there is mold everywhere, inside, outside, but what happens is the air gets trapped in our home, and if we're not properly filtering it out, then we are breathing that in every single day. Just like you would filter your water and wash your food before eating it, air is so important and is something that we are literally breathing in every second and not even thinking about it. I'm gonna have a link down below for you guys to check out more about Jasper and just learning more about improving the air quality in your home, especially if you cook a lot like I do. Cooking creates so much indoor air pollution, so make sure you're opening your windows, putting on that range hood vent, even though I know us overstimulators, it's like really loud and annoying, but they're just some easy free things you can do right now to help improve the air quality in your home and in your kitchen. Like, I spend a lot of time here and I don't want to be breathing in smoke while I'm cooking delicious food for my family. While my bones are roasting, I'm gonna actually start prepping some apple pie. We went apple picking the other day and we have this is just like a small amount of the apples that we got. We had to give some away to the grandparents, but it is apple season, and if you're not making apple pie, you're doing the fall season wrong. I also want to wear Oakley in the backpack mode for the first time. I see everyone do it and I feel like he would like it. He loves being carried. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, I think I watched a couple of tutorials. We'll see if I can figure this out. You excited? Okay. Seems so dangerous. Wait. Okay, hold him. How do you do this by yourself? How do you homesteaders do it? Okay, get this arm in the normal spot. Oh, baby's arms are down. I got a new backpack for school. We figured it out. I don't know, Comment down below if I'm doing it wrong, but he looks cozy. This is like the third crisp we've had in the last week and a half. The one before was peach. Oh, I'm telling you, when you use fruit that's in season, just makes magical food. You want to hold the apple? Okay, you got it? I can't feed this guy fast enough. Bones are roasted. I'm just gonna let them sit for a sec while I finish the apples, and then we'll get these into the pressure cooker. So when you are making a lot of things from scratch, you're usually bouncing back and forth between a couple things. So I wanna get my bones soaking in some water with apple cider vinegar. The farm I went to, this is the secret she said you need to do. 30 minutes apple cider vinegar before you actually get the heat going and get it cooking. I think she did lemon juice, but I usually like doing apple cider. I left my oven at the 375 mark because my pie is gonna go in at the same temperature. I am making apple pie. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm making apple pie. So I'm just gonna put my roasted bones into my pressure cooker. You could do this in a pot on the stove or a slow cooker, but it's gonna be cooking for hours. Like you need it to cook for like 12 to 15 hours to get like that really good gelatin thick bone broth. If you know, you know. But if you have a pressure cooker, it honestly is the fastest way. I think I do it in about 4 hours, and it is so good. Your kitchen doesn't smell smoky all day, and it's just the easiest, like no mess, no fuss way to do it, in my opinion. I'm gonna fill this up with water and then add in the apple cider vinegar. And yes, our tap water is filtered, in case you're wondering. I'm gonna add my apple cider vinegar. Let's put this aside while we finish our apple crisp. I may have cut too many because we have so many apples. I might use some to make an applesauce. You know what? Maybe I'll just put them all in. Okay, I'm gonna add some lemon juice. Adding in some arrowroot powder. It's gonna help thicken it up. It's like a healthier cornstarch. All right, I'm gonna set that aside, and then we're gonna make the actual crumble that's gonna go on top. This is why I love making a crisp as opposed to a pie. It's so much easier, and it's something that we've been having in our house from scratch, like pretty much since like childhood, because it's just like a no-fuss way to use up some fruit in your household. Like you can do frozen peaches, blueberries, literally anything can be turned into a crisp. Spread it out on top. These are gonna cook down, so even if it feels full, if you got a lot of apples to use up, just trust the process. And all those juices are gonna caramelize at the bottom, and it's gonna be so good. All right, now we're gonna take that crumble and just spread it out on top evenly. And don't feel like it's gotta be perfect. It's okay if some apples peeking out and it looks rustic. It's gonna be delicious, and it's kind of part of the charm of homemade. I'm gonna pop this into the oven to cook, and then we'll finish prepping our bone broth. I gotta get Oakley down for his nap, and I have something else we're gonna make that's really fun. Bye, pie. So you're not making a soup, so you don't have to worry about finely chopping everything. This is literally just to add some flavor to our bone broth, so it's not just like bone water. So I got some celery and carrots. I'm just gonna chop the ends off, but I'm not gonna peel them. If anything, if you're buying organic, you know, there's some B12 vitamins on it from the soil, so you're good. And I'm just gonna do a rough chop. I also find the carrots help give your bone broth that nice like golden kind of orangey hue. This is a great way to use up leftover veggies that are kind of looking a little like sad, and you don't want to throw them out. Just stick them in a bone broth. By the way, if you're feeling sick this cold and flu season, eat some raw garlic. One of my favorite hacks is chopping up some raw garlic, letting it sit for like 15 minutes, and then I just chug it back with some water. I don't chew it. And if I have any sore throat, it's like literally gone the next day. It's kind of crazy. Let me know if you've tried it, but like garlic, it's like a powerful cold and flu killer. I'm gonna throw my veggies in, set it and forget it. Literally, I don't have to think about it, and it's gonna make the most delicious, nourishing bone broth. And a bay leaf. Give it a little stir. So I'm setting it for 4 hours and I'm gonna do a natural release for probably about another hour. I have the crisp in the oven baking. I got the bone broth brewing, and I'm gonna just do a quick tidy up, and then we're gonna make the next dish. Or not dish, side dish. Look at those juices caramelized at the bottom. Perfectly golden on top. She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States. Comment that movie down below. Crispy. We made some naan dough. So all I did to get to this point is in a small jar, I mixed together some warm water with yeast and sugar, gave that a whisk, and then I set it aside for 10 minutes. I mixed together my dry ingredients, which was flour, baking powder, and sea salt. I added some... I added some coconut yogurt and olive oil, and then mixed it with the yeast water mixture and added everything to the dry ingredients and created a dough. I'm gonna link the recipe I used down below. Sorry, it's loud. I've never felt more like a homesteader. Got my bench scraper out. Is this my calling? Coated it with some oil and a damp cloth on top. Now we're gonna divide this into 6 even pieces. We're gonna dust our flour surface. I don't know how the homestead channels do this with like 6 kids running around. I have 2 and it's a lot. If you're ever having a stressful day, just make some dough. Like, this is so satisfying. Alright, I'm gonna cover these and let them set for 10 minutes, and then I'm just gonna chop up some parsley and garlic because we're gonna put that on top before we fry them up. It's so good. We have these at least once a week.
Sage, no.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, you didn't even tell mommy you were opening those.
I want to paint.
No, not right now. Maybe later.
No, please. My baby.
Be careful. Wow, that looks perfect. Looks like a heart. Can you draw?
No, me.
What should I do? Okay, I'll do the cloud. I got the Naan cooking. I got this guy eating dinner. He eats early, so gotta get him going, huh? He's playing, working up an appetite. This is what I'm cooking up for Uncle Lee. I just got some beef bolognese and some yellow beets, just cooking that all up. But he's having some watermelon first. And literally as I'm cooking this, I can already hear Jasper's going off. Let me show you what's happening. Anytime I'm frying something, it knows. Critical. So right now it's saying poor air quality. It was at critical, but now it's going back down. Oh, timer's going off. See, there's no smoke going on, but it's still affecting our air quality. I mean, I can smell it, but it's just food cooking. All right, this is ready. All right, our bone broth is ready to strain. Oh, sauce in the hair. How did this happen? You're gonna need a bath. I turned around for 1 minute. What are you doing? Oakley's a mess, but Daddy just got here, so he's gonna clean him up. I'm gonna strain this bone broth. So this is how I normally do it. I just get a large glass bowl, a strainer, and then I have my mason jars ready. I got 3, that usually seems to be enough. This is honestly the hardest part about making bone broth, is just the straining. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna let them cool, and then I'm gonna transfer them into the fridge. Tomorrow they're gonna have a layer of fat on. I can just remove that so I don't have really oily bone broth. And you can do things with that if you Google it, but these are ready to go. And if you drink it like a tea, just add a little sea salt to it, and it's so good. I use it in soups. I cook my rice in it for the kids, and there's just so many things you can do with bone broth, and it's so, so good for you. The naan is done. It looks so good. I use this for when we make curries or even Greek night. This is really good with some tzatziki and chicken. So fluffy. Once you make homemade bread of any kind, you cannot buy store-bought. I'm ruined. I feel like a hot, sweaty mess right now. We have so many dishes to do, but I have all this yummy food to eat. Chloe already took a bite, but let's try our apple crisp. I'm double dipping. The caramelization at the bottom is incredible. Also, there's something about apple and cardamom that is just magical. Like, it's such a good combo. Wow, that's good. I am sweaty and hungry. We're gonna eat dinner soon, and I just want to thank you guys for joining me in my homesteading era. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to share more recipes like this, leave me a comment down below and just say yes to Homestead Era, and I will definitely make more of these. The downside is all the dishes, but it's okay. Matt will help me, and I think he's making pizza tonight. If you want more info on my favorite air purifier, I'm gonna have that link down below for you guys to check out, and anything else that I mentioned in today's video. I usually try to link things down below. So if I missed something or you have a question about something, just let me know in the comments and I will try to find the link for you. This was honestly so much fun because I've been making bone broth like crazy, so it gave me another excuse to make it again. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, every single week.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by.